Hello, welcome to my channel. I haven't updated for several days. I was busy creating exams, and another thing is I was so tired, so I went to bed earlier. And this video is talking about symbols. The second video about a symbol, okay, and which gonna become the last, not the last video. Anyway, we mentioned in previous video when we introduced a symbol, the data type, we mentioned symbol properties are considered as hidden properties, but I didn't explain why. And in this video, I will explain why, okay? We will use example called for-in. And sometimes we want to our symbol like properties to be globally, then we can do there's a global symbol, registry. And last slide will show you it actually the symbol is used internally inside JavaScript, like when you put an object in the alert, right? And the object will convert to be the primitives, and actually it's gonna using a symbol, okay? And let's see. First one is symbols are skipped by the for-in loop. Now I will show you the code in the IDE, okay? Okay, now let me show you inside the Visual Studio Code. Here, suppose I have an object. Let me probably write from scratch for you guys. So here, suppose I have a symbol called student ID, okay, equals symbol, and I give student ID here. Okay, and then last we talked about how to use symbol inside the inside the object literal, right? And we will use name. Let's using first name. We can give one student ID here. Okay, 11001. Okay, like this. Okay, like a first name is Tina. Okay, last name is Xing. Okay, and we also have an ID, right, which is student ID, and I will use what? STUID, because if I directly use STUID, what's gonna happen? If I directly using student ID here, that means this student ID gonna become a string. The string of a STUID gonna become a property of the student, right? But I want the value held by the student ID, this variable, to be the property key. So we use a bracket, okay? You have to use bracket, otherwise you are going to have STUID as property. We want the return the value by this symbol to be the property key, right? So here we use STUID, and we can just using STUID. I made a mistake. Student ID, okay? Because that one is become a key. I would think it become the value, okay? So we're gonna be 101, okay? And now we have a student. We can take a look at this one, student, okay? You can take a look at. You have a symbol as open in default browser. Okay, go here. You have an object, and have first name, last name, symbol, okay, which is this symbol, and it's guaranteed to be unique, okay, and that is the console log. Now I want to have a for-in, okay, for and let, which is a key in student, okay, student. In we talk about this for-in, okay. In is also an operator. You can using in to check if a property is inside another inside an object. Use in, okay. So here we will do is we use console log. How about that? Which is student object key. this way, we can use a temporary literal. This is very powerful, the temporary literal. The key. And we also need to grab the value, right? Value, okay? And we'll use this one. Student. You cannot using directly using key, because if I do like this way, it means I'm looking for inside a student, I have a property. The name is a key, okay? But actually, we need to get the value, right? So we have to use bracket, okay? Bracket notation like this way, okay? And now let's take a look at. Okay, you are only get two. One is first name, one is the last name, and you didn't get what? You didn't get this simple student ID. That's why the simple properties are hidden. Okay, because as we explained, when and where we probably will use simple is because which demo here. Let me go to a slide. Slides have, okay. Where to use simple is like we may have some code belongs to others, okay, and you want to have extend on this object, and you add your own ID here, and later on probably another script also add ID, okay, also add ID. In this case, the other script will override your values of this ID. That's where we want to use symbol. And sometimes, think about it, in another script, probably they will do is I will loop this user, right? And when they loop the user, they can get the ID, which is the ID you extended. And sometimes it's not good, okay? And when we use symbol, when they loop, okay? When they loop, they cannot get it, because as we demoed just now, we had a loop here. What is? We had a loop here, for in loop. They cannot get it. See here. See, it can only get the normal one, but for the simple one, they cannot get. They even cannot find out you actually had a ID there added, right? So that's why they are hidden properties, okay? We can also try to use object.keys. The other one is here, which is we have an object.keys, okay? .keys, right? Yes. And we can give student, and we can have a for each loop, okay? Because it's gonna return array. And we're gonna have a keys, right? We can try also here. Okay. Try one more time using this one. I have two laptops, and the other one is a Windows. So, the shortcuts is different. I'm confused. Okay, so here I'm going to use student like a second one. Okay, second one should differentiate. Okay, now we go back to our browser. Okay, and try see here. When we use object keys, you also cannot get when do loop. You cannot get the hidden properties, which is symbol properties, okay? And the only way you can get 10001 here is through the student ID symbol directly, which is you have to do like this way, which is student, and you give STUID. That's the only way you can access this 101. When you do a loop, you cannot get it. You get it 101. Okay, that's the reason we call symbols are hidden properties. Okay, this is one. Now next one is suppose you want to add something into global. Okay, it do have a global symbol registry. It will create symbols in it and access later. Guarantees that repeated access by the same name will return exactly the same symbol. And you can use symbol.for. Because if we directly use symbol and give an ID or just a symbol, it won't add into global. Okay, you have to remember it. If you want to be global, you can use symbol.for. If it exists, it will read and return. If it doesn't exist, it will create a new one, store in the registry with the keys. And we have one more here. Let me comment this part. Okay, and the demo is duplicated. This one I don't want to show you. I don't want demo again. Okay. So here I have a symbol for, okay, ID, and then I will use the symbol for again, okay, and it's already have an ID existing. So when we do ID, it will give us true. Okay, I don't need to have it open. We'll get it true because the first time in the global, see here. In the global, the first time it's gonna if it doesn't exist with this one, right? Doesn't exist with this key, okay? This is gonna be a key. Doesn't exist, it's gonna create one. And second time with the same key, it's gonna just return it, read it and return it. Okay. Let me go back, show you guys again. Suppose I make this one to be ID2, and we should say false because the key are different. Say false. Okay. The reason we use global is if I like code, if I don't using for, if I do like this way, and I give the same ID, okay? If I do it really simple, I give the same ID, you will still see false. See here, false. Because when we call symbol once, it will always create a new one for us. But if I use dot symbol for, it's gonna put it in the global. And the ID gonna become the key. So in this case, you will get the same one. Go back, try, you'll get a true. Okay, that is a global registry. Okay, this is one more. Next one is the last one. It do have some system symbols. Okay, they are exist. Okay, many system symbols that JavaScript use internally, and you can also use them to fine-tune various aspects of objects. And here has some well-known, and it also have many others there. Okay, the one not very familiar, these two I have never I didn't take a look at them. This one is used in loop. Okay, if I remember correctly, in the for each loop internally, it will gonna use iterator. Okay, and this one I will show you in the next few videos when we talk about the object convert to be primitive, and you can use this one and you can customize this one symbol.to primitive. Okay, we will show you in next few videos. So that's it for this video. Okay, and I made 2 videos about a symbol, and it's in a pretty brief way, and hope you after you watch the videos you understand what a symbol and how to use them. Okay, that's it. Thank you. See you next time. Bye bye.